Alrighty, folks, we are going to be looking at basically a continuation to Chapter 1, but instead of talking about conversions between linear units, we'll be looking at units of area and volume, as you can see by the title there, which is great because we've already done some of it, so it's going to seem a little bit like review. For example, if you consider a circle with a radius of 5 centimeters, and I asked you to work out the area in centimeters squared, you'd do it like this. Area is equal to pi times r squared, and therefore the area is 25 times pi. Or if you want to work out to an approximation with the decimal, you get about 78.5. And of course, the units are centimeters squared, because it's 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters, so the units are centimeters squared. Now, if I asked you for the area in square inches, you could not just do a simple conversion. You have to do the square conversion. Let me show you what I mean. So a square that has a dimension of 1 inch by 1 inch has an area of 1 inch squared. 1 times 1 is 1 inch squared. But if you convert each dimension to centimeters, it's 2.54 centimeters on each side, and the area in square centimeters then is 6.45 centimeters squared. So there's two different conversions that we're working with here. First of all, the simple one we talked about last chapter was that 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters, and that 1 square inch is equal to 6.45 centimeters squared, or square centimeter, same thing. Okay, so in converting square centimeters to square inches, this is the one that I use, not this one. Okay, we don't use that one for converting square units. That's just for converting linear units. So to figure out the area of this circle in square inches, I have to use that conversion. So if that is my calculation, then I'm going to put on the top here 1 inch squared is equal to, on the bottom, 6.45 centimeters squared. So I take my 78.5 centimeters squared from the first question and then divide it by 6.45, which gives me 12.2 square inches. Okay, so there's the answer there. Now, the alternate thing you could have done is you could have converted the radius to inches to start. And you could have said that the radius is 1.97 inches and then done pi r squared that way, and you get 12.2 square inches again. It doesn't matter how you do it, you get the same answer. Okay, so just to prove to you that it does actually work. Okay, I'm going to let you try this problem here. Okay, so if there's a field that is rectangular with a length of 1.4 miles and a width of 0.3 miles, obviously then the area is 0.42 square miles. What would be the area in square kilometers? You can either figure out the conversion for square miles to square kilometers, or convert both the miles, both length and width, to kilometers, and then find the area that way. Your choice. I'll show you both ways in 3 seconds, so pause the video and give it a shot. Okay, well, if we multiply the miles of dimensions, length and width, by 1.609, which is a conversion factor from kilometers to miles, or sorry, from miles to kilometers, then we get 2.25 and 0.48 kilometers. And so we can just multiply those together to get the area, and you get 1.08 square kilometers. But it's the same conversion for both the length and the width. In other words, I just multiplied the length by 1.609 and then the width by 1.609. So I could just do it a slightly different way then, which is kind of how we discussed it earlier, is I'm taking my original area, 0.42, okay, multiply the length by 1.609, multiply the width by 1.609. In essence, I'm taking 0.42 miles and I'm multiplying it by 1.609 squared, okay, which would be the same thing if I were to work out a square with a 1 mile by 1 mile length and width, find the area, and then find it again in kilometers, just like we did last time. It's the same thing, okay? So you can do it either way, but regardless, you should have got 1.08 square kilometers no matter how you did it. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. Okay, so for homework, what I want you to do for tomorrow for me is I want you to work out the area of this triangle, which is very straightforward. Half times base times height. I've given you both those dimensions there. So work it out in centimeters squared, and then work it out in meters squared. Now, it's very easy to convert those both to meters, but see if you can work out the conversion factor between centimeters squared and meters squared. So if you can bring that to me, how many meters squared are in 1 centimeter squared, or if you did it the other way around, how many meters squared or centimeters squared are in 1 meter squared. Same thing, okay? Try and convert it that way, and we'll go over it tomorrow in class, and then we'll also talk about volume as well in class. So we'll see you tomorrow.